Welcome everybody, it's Mike Newton down here at Lytham Golf Academy. We've got another shaft head-to-head little test here for you today. And again, very kindly, Fujikura have sent me through a couple of Speeder Evolution shafts here. I've got an Evolution 4 and the brand new Evolution 5. So I'm going to put these two shafts head-to-head against each other. Slightly different profile shafts here, aiming at different sort of ball flights, a little bit different sort of flex profiles in these as well. So we're going to maybe put them head-to-head and maybe see if this is something that might suit you, or definitely give you the idea that you've got to go out and get fitted, because obviously there's a lot of shaft options available on the market today, and it's so crucial to get the right one suited to your particular speed and your delivery and the way you load that golf shaft. Okay, so we're going to get into the video here, and we're going to start off with the Evolution 4 shaft from Fujikura. So this has been out since last year. I've got the 757 version here. There is some different weighted options here in the Evolution 5. So again, there's a lot of options to sort of go through here. So this is a little bit more suited towards sort of myself really here. I've got the same 757 in the Evolution 5. They're both in X-Flex, both at the same length, and I'm going to use them both in my driver, which is the G400 LST driver. So we're going to use the head for both of those sort of shafts and testing here. So we're going to start off with the Evolution 4. We're going to hit some shots, show you some ball flights, look at some data in a little bit more detail, and see how these two shafts perform against each other. So let's talk a little bit about Evolution 4 and the technologies that are used in this particular shaft. What Fujikura is saying is the Evolution 4 is based on a similar profile to the Evolution 2, which was a low launch and a low spin. But this Evolution 4 has a slightly softer mid to tip section to increase launch angle while maintaining a low torque spin with an added strength value to this. So it might be a little bit too soft for me personally if it's going to get a little bit sort of soft in that tip section, but it is also saying it's a lower launching shaft. And you know, for me personally, I'd like to sort of try and see this ball come out sort of low to mid trajectory for me, but then my spin is the big factor here. Now I've done a little video regarding the Evolution 5 against my Ping Tour 65 shaft, and I really enjoy the Evolution 5, and I think that's going to switch over into my Ping for me going forward when we're playing. But again, I'm interested to hit this Evolution 4. I've not hit the 4 yet at all, so this is going to be the first time I've hit this. So let's get this first one hit, and we'll see how this sort of feels and what it does to this ball flight. Yeah, that feels really solid off the club face there. That felt really nice. Ball flight was lovely. Okay, so that was a lovely little opening 316-yard drive. Hopefully I can do them all like that. That'll be very nice. If that's the case, then this shaft is definitely going in the bag. But yeah, really nice opening sort of tee shot. That felt really solid. Let's get the next one hit. See if this can be as good. Lovely. Yeah, it feels really nice. Just move that a little bit up that left-hand side, which tends to be my miss, to be honest. But feel-wise off there, that strike was lovely. Feel-wise was good. Yeah, 307 on that particular shot. So the weight of this is, as I say, this is an X-Flex, which is a bit more my flex. The weight of this is 78.5 grams. Evolution 5, 77.5. So there's only 1 gram difference there. So very, very similar sort of weight, which is where we're into the 757 sort of model here, basically. And the torque of this is 2.7, where the Evolution 5 is 3. Which basically torque is the twist in the sort of shaft here. So a little bit, basically the lower that number, the less twist you get in the shaft. So again, a little bit more of that lower profile in terms of that launch and sort of spin number there, a little bit more control, maybe for that higher swing speed. Okay, so let's hit a few more shots. Probably won't show you all the ball flights for this, and then we'll move into the Evolution 5 in 2 seconds. Let's get a few more shots hit with the Evolution 4. Yeah, it feels lovely. Really solid. Yeah, really like the feel of that Evolution 4. That was a really nice solid strike there, that last one. That's 304 sort of distance there. Okay, so let's switch over. I'm going to keep the same head, exactly the same loft and everything. We're going to put the Evolution 5 in, and then we'll hit a batch of shots, and then we'll look at some numbers in a little bit more detail. Okay, so we've now got the Evolution 5 in my hands here, and as I said, I've done a little comparison between that and what was my current game, which was a Tor 65 shaft. And I did prefer the feel of this and the sort of numbers it also produced. Now, really interested to see this up against the Evolution 4. As I said, that was the first time I've hit the Evolution 4. I have hit the 5 before. Now, 5 is brand new out. It isn't replacing the 4 because they keep there's Evolution 2, 3, 4 and 5 available on the market. So they're all different profiles. They all come in different sort of weights and obviously flexes as well. So there's a really in-depth choice of shafts here. And again, this is all, as I always try to promote, it all goes around. You've got to go and get fitted for these. There's so many options available nowadays. It's very difficult to go and say, you know, especially from my review here, just say, oh, if that's good for Mike, it's good for me. You possibly load that shaft very, very differently. So please do go and get fitted for these. So, okay, we'll start off with this first one with the Evolution 5, and we'll see how this feels. That's a nice opening shot there. Little bit low in the club face there. Just peeled a touch up that right hand side, but nothing too major. Yeah, so 292, not the longest there. I think I'll just cut that a little bit, sort of slightly low heel there. Ah, that's lovely again. Yeah, really nice. So the profile of the Evolution 5 is slightly higher launching golf shaft here against the Evolution 4. As I say, this isn't replacing the 4, so this isn't to see if this is better than that, and it should be because it's replacing. It's not replacing, it's just a different option. So the point of this video really is just to see how the 4 performs and how the 5 performs. And this should be sort of different here because the 4 is a little bit more sort of low launch, slightly softer in the tip section there, where the 5 is a little bit sort of smooth on that transition, the feel of that. Some new technologies placed in the 5 over the 4, but promoting a slightly higher launch sort of profile really. That feels really solid. Yeah, again, that feels superb. And that's going out there at about 296. And not the longest there, but feels really, really solid. I think they both feel really solid, to be honest. Both feel really sort of stable there, but quite smooth. Not like I really have to sort of go at those particular sort of shots and drives there. Okay, so let's look at those two, look at the numbers a little bit more detail between those two shafts. Okay, so again, just look at the dispersion rings here. So the white one was the yellow one was the Evolution 4. The blue one was the Evolution 5. So very, very similar on the actual dispersion rings between those 6 shots hit with each shaft. Okay, and then jumping into the numbers here. So club head speed, pretty identical here, 113, just under 114. Ball speed, touch slower there with the 5 against the 4. Obviously, again, strikes. It's going to play a big part in this. Obviously, it's very difficult to do a test like this because obviously my strike will change slightly from shot to shot. But this is where we've got to maybe look at it as an average really. So launching at 11.8 with the 4, slightly higher there with the 5, but not masses in it. Spin very, very similar, just a touch lower there with the 5 against the 4, but not a huge amount. Both peaking out very similar, 35 against 34, and distance 282 against 281 carry, 306, 305. So very, very similar sort of numbers there. Right, okay guys, so there we go. There's the 2 Evolution shafts, the 4 and the 5, sort of just tested a little bit there. Look at the numbers there, very, very similar on the performance there. In terms of feel, again, to me they felt very, very similar. The weight's pretty much identical, the flex is identical there. Obviously the profile in terms of the tips are slightly different, and probably that's the only thing I really felt between the 2 there. With the 4, I did feel it being a little bit softer in that tip section there. It performed nicely. The bore flight flew quite well, but me personally feeling that a little bit soft on the tip sometimes gives me the impression I'm going to lose a little bit of control of it. Again, it's that personal preference there for me. The 5, as I said to when I did the video against my tour shaft there, which again I'll put a little link and you can go and check that one out. Felt really sort of smooth, felt really sort of controlled, and I mean, to be fair with both shafts there, I didn't feel like I really had to work it and go at it, even though they're both in that sort of heavier bracket. And obviously in an X-Flex there, I didn't really feel that they were overly sort of stiff and rigid there, that I had to really sort of, sometimes it forces you into going at it a little bit more, which then obviously you lose your tempo of your golf swing a little bit more. So, but for me, 2 great shafts there, 2 very sort of quality shafts. As I say, there's a lot of options here. There is Evo 2, 3, 4 and 5, as we've seen here. So different weights, different flexes. You've got to go out and test these yourselves, guys. You've got to go and get fitted. That's the most important story from this particular video. Okay, again, thanks massively to Fujikura for sending these shafts. Very much appreciated. If you enjoyed the video, do comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Do you play with Fujikura? Do you play with Speeder Evolution? Obviously the 5's only just launching as we're shooting this video here, so very new shaft onto the market. But if you've had the chance to test it, let me know your thoughts on that particular shaft. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Hit the like button and also share it around, and hopefully I'll catch up with you all very soon.